All right, let's talk about billing. I'm going to go to the billing tab. The first thing is that we have fee schedules. You don't have to have fee schedules, but it typically helps. When you start Panoramix, you're going to have just a default fee schedule, and this is going to be blank. And so the default fee schedule is typically what your ADV says, and that's what we are going to charge every account unless you say otherwise. And I'll show you how to say otherwise. And we have dozens of ways to do that. But this is a standard tier structure. So from 0 to 100,000, it's 1.5, 100 to 250 is 1.25. And you can go add whatever tiers you want. You can set this up however you want. And that's going to be your default fee schedule. You can set up minimum fees. You can set up maximum fees. You can break it down by a firm versus the advisor percentage if you want. So we have a report for that. And then you can set up other fee schedules as well. So I can say, well, my high net worth looks like this. I might have a test that's blank. Apparently my VIP is just 75 basis points across the board. You have the options to set up whatever fee schedules you want. You can copy a fee schedule to another one, so then you can just go change the numbers if you need to. That's your fee schedules. And then let's talk about how you can override that. I can go in, we have the ability, first of all, if I go back to Bob Anderson, we have multiple levels of overriding that. And you don't have to override it if everybody's on your ADV. And by the way, if you find an advisor whose everybody is on their ADV, let me know, because congratulate them. I can go in on a household level and I can click household billing, and I can do things like, all right, for this entire household, I want to exclude them from billing. Or for this entire household, I don't want them on the default fee schedule. I want them on the VIP schedule. Or I don't want them on a schedule. I'm just going to charge them 1% across the board. Or maybe I'm going to charge them a flat amount of $5,000. So that I'm just charging this household $5,000. And then on that, I want to spread that evenly over their accounts. You can actually add an additional fee if you need to. So on a household level, you can override their billing. Or you can go into an individual account, and there you can override the billing. So I can go in and say, okay, on this, just for this account, I want to exclude that from billing. Or I want to put that account on a different fee schedule, or I want to override that account and charge them a percentage or a flat amount and an additional amount. You can set up billing cycles. If for some reason you want to bill quarterly, but you want to bill a third of your clients every month, you can do that. And so I can go say, yeah, this guy's on the February, May, August, November, and you don't have to do fee schedules. We also have the alternative fee billing where you can bill this account to another account in the household. So like the qualifieds versus the non. You can kind of set the grace period. So the billing start date is automatically going to be when the account was first funded. But if you want to give them 30-day grace period or whatever, you can set up a billing start date. So we want to actually start billing until that date. So that's some of the overrides you can do on an account level. And then on a holding level, you can also do some overrides. So you'll see if I go look at this one, I have cash is excluded right now, and Rentec is actually, or cash is overridden and Rentec is excluded. But if I go in to any given holding on an account, I can go in and say, all right, well, I want to charge them, this is charging them 10 basis points for cash rather than whatever it is I'm doing otherwise, or I can just exclude that from billing. So you have the option on a holding level to override what you're going to do for billing. And again, these are all overrides. It's not like you have to go set this stuff up for every account unless you need to override them. Then once all of that is set up, you have a couple other options as well. One is the incomplete account section up on the top here, and that is going to give you a list of all of your new accounts. So you come in here once a week, once a month or whatever, and it's going to say, here's all the new accounts that I got. And you can go in and say, okay, yeah, I want to exclude them from billing, or I want to put them on this fee schedule, or I want to override the fee schedule, and they're good to go. So I click a setup. So this is a way where you can actually see who has come in, and I can go set their billing up, and then you save the changes there. We also have the ability to just edit account data and billing data in bulk. So I can come in here and say, here's all the accounts in the system, and I can start going in and saying, all right. And again, you can filter here, and I say, well, you know what? I think I want to change the Andersons. So I'm going to go see all the Andersons, and oh yeah, I'm going to go change that. I'm going to put them all on this schedule or on this schedule or whatever you want to do. So you have the ability, to go in and kind of bulk edit all that billing information. We also have reports in the blotter and things for that billing. So once your billing is all set up, then you come in here and you run your billing, and it saves all these settings. So the first time you come in, and so you're billing monthly, you're billing quarterly. Do you want to build one custodian at a time, or do you want to generate all of them? Do you want to bill one rep code at a time, or all of them? And then what are you basing your billing on? Do you want bill based on an end of period balance? Do you want an average balance? Do you want to do the end of period balance in advance and then go get the weighted cash flows from the prior one, do a true up? Or you could do this as two different billing runs. I can do end of period balance, and then I can do the weighted flows. So you can actually give them two different bills if you want. And then end and balance with prorated flows is just another way of computing an average balance. But so you choose what you want. I'm just going to do end of period balance for there. And then are you billing in advance or in arrears? If you're tiering, do you want a threshold billing where if you get to another tier, the entire account is billed at that level, or do you want to step it up so the first 100,000 is billed at 1.5, the next 100,000 billed at whatever. So that's blended rate. If you want to use the actual days in the quarter versus divide by 4, some people want to round to the dollar. If you are tiering, you can tier on end of period balance rather than their average balance, because some people want to do that. You can prorate new accounts. If you are weighing transactions, you can actually just weigh cash transactions only rather than other like dividends and things like that for weighted transactions. You can actually set a minimum amount up there. So I can say I only want to bill on transactions of $50,000 or more. So you have some options. Again, you set those up, and once they're set up, it stores all that. And so you come in here basically once a quarter, once a month, or however you're doing your billing. You just change the end of month and you hit generate. And that's funny. Our billing is ready for prime time at noon Central Time on the first of the month, and it's now 11:09, so it's not quite ready yet. It actually mostly is, but we say noon just to be safe, because we're kind of going in to make sure everything's there and all that other stuff. So this is just an error message because I happen to be running on the first of the month before noon. So yes, I do want to continue. When I hit generate, then I'm going to get a grid of everything I ever needed to know about my fees. I look through here, each line is an account. And if I scroll over, there's a ton of information. The adjusted fee is what we're going to bill. The computed fee is their basic rules. And then if you have adjustments to it, it's going to show there, or if you're billing it to another account or something, it's going to show you your household assets, which is going to use for tiering. It's going to show the account value, which is what we're going to use for which is the end of period balance. And it's, here's what we looked up. The billing period factor is a quarter. And if you start scrolling over, do I have a minimum or a maximum fee applied? If I'm doing weighted flows, how much were they? If I'm on billing cycles, what's there? Here's my fee schedule name. Here's when the account inception was there. But the other thing at the end here is how much cash is there. So it shows you the available cash and then the cash after fees. And you can sort on that. So I can go and see all the negatives and say, oh, I got some selling to do. You have that grid. And we always say, once you run that, export that to Excel and go put it in a compliance folder so you have it. You can go back and run this back in time, but something might have changed or whatever. But this is going to give you all the information you ever needed to know about your billing for the quarter or for the month, and then just export it to Excel and put it in the compliance folder. Then I can start creating my files for the custodians. And so what I can do now is say, okay, well, let me go see all of my Charles Schwab stuff. Okay, here's all my Charles Schwab stuff. Okay, I want to export that to the Schwab file. And that creates the file that you just import at Schwab. And okay, now let me do all my TD Ameritrade stuff. And then I can go export that to the TD file. So if you have multiple custodians, you can go then create the individual billing files for the custodians. That handles the actual billing itself. And then for us, fee statements are just a report. So you can put those into your batch reports and you can include it there. But sometimes people want to run their fee statements individually when they do their billing. And so that's what you have the option to do down here. And again, you have the option, I can save it to the client's portal. I can email it to the client. I can do what I want to do. And I'm going to not hide fee calculations. I'm just going to kind of show you how this looks. So typically when they're doing everybody, you will hide the fee calculations. And then if you need, someone calls and says, I want to see more detail about that, you can do that. Let me pop down to the Andersons here. Basically what you have is account number, how much you're billing, and then if you do have the calculations on here, it's saying I'm billing based on the end of balance and I'm multiplying that by the fee period times this. If there's like, here's a flat amount. And then if you have adjustments and things, it'll show up there. You can put memos and stuff on there. So you can have a very detailed fee statement, or if you don't want to see all that stuff, you can just say, well, let me hide the calculations, and then it's a little bit more linear. So, it doesn't really show, just shows you what each account and what you're billing. That is the billing. Any billing questions?
One quick question, I might have misheard something, but is there the opportunity to include something like financial planning fees that are, you talked about sort of, inputting a fee that might be sort of a levelized fee or something. I might have heard that. So if an advisor is charging a financial planning fee and a asset-based fee, there's a place to input the cash dollar amount of the financial planning fee. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's an additional fee. You can do an additional fee flat, and it's an annual. So you can set them up for, whatever tiered structure they're on, and then an additional fee of $5. And you can actually put a note on that says the $500 is financial planning or whatever you want it for. But yes, so you have your basic assets under management, and then you have an additional fee option where you can put a flat or a percentage. So you can do like a discount. So rather than, you can say I have a friends and family one that I want to show them that they're getting a 10% discount or something. So you can put that on there as well.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.